Alright guys, welcome back for episode 4.
This is it, 4 in, month in.
Of Crossing Swords. I'm Andrew.
I'm Jake, still.
Yeah, and this week we thought we'd do a bit more of a light-hearted podcast, one for you to sort of get to know us a little bit better.
So we've just got some stupid questions
that we've written down and bundled up and
pull them up and answer them.
Yeah.
And ask them, because it'd be weird if we just answered them.
Yeah, if we just opened it and just started talking and you have no idea what we're answering.
Yeah. Chris Rock, done. Zero context.
I'd like that though, that'd be quite
Tell
funny.
me what to think of Chris Rock. I really couldn't think of anyone famous at all.
Chris Tucker, and now I'm just thinking of Chris.
No, he just Black Chris's. We're just going to do a whole podcast on Black Chris's.
I wonder if any of them had a dream.
Right, dive right in. Shall we just pull out the first one?
You can pull the first question.
I'm going to pull the first question. Here we go. What's your favourite type of music?
My favourite type of music is well, actually, I've got quite an eclectic taste in music.
Me too.
I'm into all sorts. I'd say mainly rock music, but it can range from Slipknot to Roy Orbison to Justin Bieber, George Michael, Elton. You know, on and on and on. So it's a bit of a random one for me.
Yeah, I'd say probably my main two are kind of rock in terms of sort of like think Oasis, think Foo Fighters, yeah, and then rap. So think, obviously Eminem and Dr. Dre and those kind of ones of that era. Plus people like Devlin and stuff. Not so much a fan of the new era of rap. The kind of like auto-tune, sing it rap, like Drake. I mean, I like Drake. I think he's a really good lyricist and stuff, but not so much that. But those are the main two. But equally, pretty much anything that isn't freeform jazz.
Fair enough. All right, should I pick one?
Pick one.
Alright, my eyes are closed for those who can't see.
It doesn't matter. Your eyesight is shit anyway.
True. Do you have any phobias?
Do I have any phobias? Yeah, snakes.
Snakes? Just snakes?
Just snakes.
Any reason?
Failure. Crushing failure. Snakes. No, I don't know why. Just don't like them.
Well, to be fair, I don't think that's an unreasonable fear. I don't particularly want to be around snakes. It's a little odd because
I've never encountered one in my life.
I really don't like spiders. That's my worst one. I don't particularly like mice, despite the fact I'm the size of an elephant. I should be able to crush one. But you know, they freak me out. And yeah, that's about it for me.
Yeah, intimacy.
Yeah.
Right, next up. Favourite takeaway? It's a tough one.
Oh, it's got to be
both fat.
Mine's Chinese.
I love it. It's a really indulgent one in the Chinese.
Yeah.
You proper just fucking pig out.
Yeah.
2 or 3 servings.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably go for that. I'd like a curry.
Yeah, it doesn't like me anymore though.
No. And I also, obviously, pizza is like a standard.
Yeah, who doesn't like pizza?
More of an occasional treat. Yeah, I think I'd have to go Chinese. It's just, you get a good mix of things.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I like a bit of crispy chili chicken, some rice or noodles.
Like a little bit of deep fried shredded beef. Yeah, some chow mein.
I also like
rice and
dumplings.
Dumpling. I like a good, like a prawn dish, maybe like a black pepper prawn dish or something.
You mean like king prawn and black bean sauce?
Yeah, not so much the black bean sauce, but yeah, like
black bean sauce is the one, mate.
Maybe like
I do like a Chinese.
I'll tell you what, like a garlic, ginger and spring onion chicken. It's quite nice.
Oh, I've not tried that. I'll have to consider that.
Maybe some chicken satay skewers. I love those.
No, I'm not a big fan of those.
Little spring roll or something.
Yeah.
Now it's all.
I also like wontons.
Yeah, I like a wonton.
Alright, my turn to pick again. Let's go for this one.
We should try and get like a Chinese company to endorse us.
What's one of your most embarrassing moments?
One of my most embarrassing moments? Oh, definitely split between the two.
Tell both.
Both sexual. One, cramping it. The cramp so much wasn't much the embarrassment, it was the fact that I felt the need to reveal it to everyone afterwards. The problem was it was a really snowy day, and I'm like half as tall as everyone else, so you've got to remember that while you're walking through like a foot of snow, I'm walking through 2 foot of snow. That uses up a lot more energy, and then I don't know why I need to tell anyone. The other one was, and this is a sign of how deep and open we might get, was probably about 13 or 14. You know, that perfect masturbation age, having a wank in the bath, and I reached orgasm.
You finished?
But I couldn't I wasn't aware of any ejaculate coming out.
Yeah.
So I sort of like sat up to look to see where it had gone, and then it came out in like a delayed reaction, and it did hit my face. I did hit
You gave yourself a face.
I did hit my face. Really good. My skin felt really good afterwards though.
I bet it did.
What about you? Embarrassing moments?
Oh, one of them is when I was younger, I was dating a lovely young lady.
Oh, they often are.
And we were around a friend's house, and we went upstairs and fooled around, and we were going to have sex, so I came downstairs to get a condom. My friend and his girlfriend were downstairs, and they were like, yeah, get in, mate, go on. And then I went upstairs, and I was, trying to get myself ready to perform, if you know what I mean. And, during the foreplay, I triggered. I was premature, let's put it that way. And then, because I then couldn't get it up again.
Yeah, but why though? Why?
I'd put on a condom that had numbing cream inside it, so it had numbed my cock.
But it actually numbed your flaccid cock, is all it had done.
Yes,
yeah.
So then I couldn't get hard again to perform my duties. And then I came back downstairs, basically sent the girl on her way, left myself, and then phoned my mate in near tears saying I wanted to kill myself.
Yeah, it was quite. We can laugh now.
Yeah.
Funny now. That's it. That's your top one, is it?
Yeah.
I'd definitely say it hard to beat.
Yeah.
Ideal 5 dinner party guests musical theme.
Ooh.
Who and why?
Freddie Mercury. It's got to be one. I just think he's phenomenally talented, or was phenomenally talented, and I think he'd have some amazing stories. Dave Grohl, because my favourite band is the Foo Fighters, and again he's been in Nirvana and the Foo Fighters, and I think he'd have some awesome stories. I'm going to struggle to find... Oh no, Roy Orbison. I loved Roy Orbison as a singer. I think he was fantastic. John Lennon, I would just like to have known more about him.
I think you could easily have the full Beatles. They had a great sense of humour.
Yeah, and I would probably have Paul McCartney as well.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I'd have... Most of them are going to be from quite current era. I'd have Ed Sheeran, because he always seems like a really cool, down-to-earth kind of guy.
Yeah, you could have a good night out with that
Adele,
guy.
Same reason. I think she seems really fucking cool. And then I'd probably struggle a little bit. I'd probably have someone like... I mean, it's a tough one. I think I might have Matt Bellamy from Muse, because I think he's musically is really underappreciated, and I'd love to pick his brain about some of the musical theory stuff that he is able to incorporate into his writing. 4 and 5 is tough. That's where it does get a little bit tricky. Get tough. Would it be cheeky to ask someone like Rihanna so that I could try and hit on her?
No, mate, it's your party.
Right, she's come in.
It's your party.
And if she says no, let's have Kesha.
Yeah, fair play. I'm on board with all of that.
Done.
Alright, next question. Alright. Would you rather live in a world with no wasps or a world with no whatever you are scared of?
So spiders or snakes?
Well, it'd be spiders, 100%. I'd rather have wasps than spiders.
See, I'd rather live in a world with no wasps because I don't see that many snakes.
I see loads of spiders.
But wasps everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay, let's bust one out. If you had to be another nationality, which one would you want to be and why?
Australian.
Yeah?
I mean, from what I've met of Australian girls, they're all a good laugh and...
Are you assuming that you're going to be an Australian girl though?
No.
Is that the leap you're
No,
making?
I'd be me, but just Australian, do you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, that's fair. I think I'd like to, as much as I'd hate to admit it, I think I have the arrogance required to pull off being a French.
100%.
That's a judgmental assumption that I'm better than everyone.
Yeah, I'd take that from you.
I think I'd...
Or, I'd like to be a rich Arab.
Yeah, but you wouldn't like to be a poor Arab though.
No.
You basically have no rights.
No.
And no money. Yeah, Australia's not a bad shout to be fair.
Plus it's always sunny there. Alright, yeah, they've got some dangerous animals, but they're quite clued up on all that.
No, I'd go for that. I think French or...
Australian.
French Australian.
Right, next one. What meal deal do you go for and what supermarket? So when I say meal deal, I'm talking about, you know, you go into your Co-op or your Tesco's.
You get a sandwich and a drink and a
Yeah.
bag of crisps.
What are we going for?
Well, if I have free choice, I quite like Sainsbury's, but it's got to be a big enough Sainsbury's because they don't always accommodate for the sandwiches that I like. I like a chicken and bacon.
Yeah.
Drink, generally, honestly, I'm trying to cut back on the sugar levels, so it's going to be like an Oasis or something.
Okay.
The berry one.
The Merry Berry Berry
And for
Oasis.
crisps, if you can get away with it in a meal deal, flame grilled steak, McCoy's.
Alright, solid. So you're not necessarily going to make sure you get the full value, you're going
No,
more for what
because
you want.
I'm too much of a fuss. You know, I get hangry.
Yeah,
I can't afford to be hungry,
fair enough.
so I need to make sure I enjoy it enough to eat it.
See, I know a few of our fans out here would like to hear what I'm about to say. I definitely go to get as much value out of my meal deal as I possibly can. So, like, for example, normally I would go for something like they'll do a breakfast triple, something like that. So I'm getting free
Three
sandwiches.
sandwiches in one.
Yeah, or they'll do like a pasta pot that's like nearly £3 on its own. So you go straight for those.
Now you've thrown that in. That does throw a spanner in the works, because if it's the choice between a pasta that I like
Yeah,
and a sandwich, price absolutely comes into it, and I pick the pasta because I'm getting more for my money.
exactly. Then I look to see what snacks they have first. Like sometimes the Co-op does like a nice like little chocolate dessert that's over £1 on its own. So just off those two items, I'm saving money. And then normally most supermarkets do the giant Red Bull that's like over £2 on its own. So I get all three of those bad boys, and I'm saving like over £3.
And then you can use the energy from the Red Bull to run it all off.
Exactly.
No.
Not that I actually use the energy to do that, but you can do that.
Okay, let's see what have we got now. No, I'm going to pick this one. Don't ask me why I changed questions, but favourite TV show of all time. That's a really, really tough one. Really, really tough one. I think I'm gonna have to go for. You know what? I'm gonna pick something that I can watch again and again and again. Something that I can come in any episode, any season, and get full enjoyment out of, and that there is a good amount of season to get enjoyment from. Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
That's fair. Mine. Oh, it's probably between House of Cards and Sons of Anarchy.
I thought Sons would be up there.
I don't think I can choose between the two. At the moment, I'm rewatching House of Cards, so at the moment I would probably lean towards that. But in a few months' time, I'll watch Sons of Anarchy, and it will change again. So it's one of the two. All right, next question: if you were a superhero, who would you be?
An existing superhero?
Yeah, has to be an actual superhero.
I'm torn, because my favourite superhero of all time, hands down, Spider-Man.
Okay.
I've always felt a link to him, I've always felt a draw to him. Peter Parker Spider-Man this is. From the 616. And he's my favourite, he just is.
Yeah.
But, really, obviously, Superman is literally the most OP superhero in the fucking world. You could do whatever you wanted, no one could touch you.
Yeah.
What about you?
Probably going Iron Man.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, billionaire, suit of armour, fly around everywhere. You know, it sounds pretty cool to me. And you're a genius.
It's a pretty chill life.
Yeah, I think I'd go with Iron Man.
It's a pretty chill life. See how I went with heart and heroics and you went with money? Just throwing it out there.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Superman and I'd love to be Superman. But Iron Man's pretty cool.
Mercenary.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Yeah, Superman's too overpowered. Modern mansion or a castle with a moat? I love the idea of having a moat, but for me, I'm a modern mansion kind of guy.
Oh, castles are notorious to keep heated, so I think I would love to be able to say I'm in a castle, have a fake throne, and I'm going castle.
You're going castle?
I'm going castle. I'd like to pretend to be a lord.
Throne room and all?
Yeah, everything. I'm sorry, it's happening. If I have the money for either, it's going to be castle.
I'll thank you.
Next question. Crime documentary or crime thriller?
That's a tough one. I think crime thriller, because they're written and because they can be crafted a little bit better, whereas in real life sometimes you have to really lean one side or the other to get it to be a juicy story.
Oh, I don't know, I'm going to shoot you down with that one. Do you know why? Abducted in plain sight.
One of the most fucked up things we've
Yeah,
ever
so
seen.
I have to go crime documentary
I've got
just
to
based
say,
off of Abducted in plain sight.
if you gave me the option of literally any crime show and Abducted in plain sight, Abducted in plain sight wins every time.
Yeah, I mean, just, it's the moment you find out the dad wanks the guy off. So not only is he
And also,
fucking-
you think that this comes out of context in terms of the podcast. It comes out of context in terms of the show.
Yeah, you are not in no... If you sit and watch it, even though I've just said it to you,
You won't see it coming.
you won't see it coming. It's this innocent old man telling you about how he tossed off a man
Because
who fucked his...
Because he asked.
Because he asked. And because he... And this same man was fucking the man's daughter and his wife, and he's...
You have to pause it and go back as well, because
Yeah.
he says, I just sort of wanked up, and he says it so casually, you're like, I didn't hear that right. I've
And we
misinterpreted
actually,
that.
when we sat and watched it, we were so taken back by it, we had to stop for 20 minutes.
It really was a weird one.
So please watch Abducted in Plain Sight.
You're right, if it's between that and Abducted in Plain Sight,
Yeah.
Abducted in Plain Sight,
Yeah.
but I'm still going to go Thriller, just to play devil's advocate. Oh, no, it's your go.
No, I
You
asked
did
that.
ask, you did ask. I can't
Come on,
keep
mate.
up. I'm not a
It's the
professional.
podcast here, we've got to be professional a little bit.
Favourite childhood memory? Wow.
Oh, I have a few.
Wow.
The one that always comes to mind for me, I can't remember how old I was, I must have been 5 or 6, and I was at Carshalton High Street with my family, and they have an Oxfam shop there. I saw this huge teddy bear in the window, like massive, probably nearly the size of you. Or at least that's how I remember it. And we went in there, and I don't know how much it cost, but I said to my dad, "Can I have it?" And he said, "I'm really sorry, but the lady who works here has reserved it for her grandson, so unfortunately we can't have it." And I was absolutely heartbroken.
And live from a man who didn't want to carry a big fucking teddy bear for you.
And I apparently had this habit as a child, which I just about remember, where when it was my sister's birthday, I used to get angry and jealous of her opening presents and me not having any. So my parents for my sister's birthday would have to buy me something to unwrap.
What a prick.
Do you know what I mean? And all I remember, and we used to always on our birthdays, we'd go and wake up mum and dad in their bedroom and sit on their bed and open presents. And I remember my dad had come up to get a coffee and my sister had been opening her presents. And I don't know if I said anything, I must have been like, "So where's mine?" And my dad pulled out of their wardrobe this massive black bag. And inside was that teddy bear.
That's a pretty nice.
It's
It's a nice memory, but it doesn't really paint you in a good light.
No, it makes me sound like a bit of a
No,
prick,
you're a
but
massive bellend.
I was 5, you know.
Still a bellend.
But but yeah, it was a really nice memory of you know, this moment of joy, just being like, oh my, like, I named him Maxie, by the way, if
You
anyone was
say-
wondering what the bear's name
You saying the
was.
thing about getting jealous about the birthday thing. My brother, when I was about 6, so he must have been about 3 or 4, I had a birthday party gathering, whatever you'd want to call it, and he blew out my candles, and I was really
That's not cool.
fucked off and whatever. But what happened was, after I'd been sort of calmed down,
I'm just picturing a young you losing your shit.
after we calmed down, they relit the candles to go again.
Don't you need to do
No, but he started bawling his little eyes out because he couldn't do it again. So I moved it away from him. They were like, "You were fucking doing it again."
I really wanted you
I
to
thought we
say.
settled this.
I really wanted for you to say that he did it again. And then, do you know what I'd have done?
They moved it away
And
from
do you know
him.
what I'd have done? I'd have walked out of this room right now, gone upstairs and shook your brother's hand. For being a
That's
legend.
your spelling. So we
For
established.
being a legend. Oh my god, that's brilliant.
Favourite childhood memory? Don't really have. There's just a lot of them. I've got one where I was in with my granddad making a skateboard in the back garden and
Yeah.
burning ants. Others just being in. Yeah, it was a little bit. Health and safety didn't exist back then, right? It was the 90s. You need to let that shit go. Other ones were just being in parks, just sort of having a general good time. Also, used to go over to Wimbledon Common looking for wombles. And I used to have this brilliant. I've got a lot of good memories of I used to find the biggest fuck off stick, and I'd be like, I'm taking it. And my mum and dad would always make me a deal. So if you can take it to the car, we'll take it home. And I had some kind of hold over them, and just enough charm that I would say 8 to 9 times out of 10, they'd end up carrying it to the car for me. And there was just a collection of sticks in the back garden, big fuck off logs. I was basically like a dog, essentially. But there's some good memories.
Nice one. Alright, next question. What is your dream job?
Oh, honestly, doing this full time, sitting in a room, talking with friends,
Yeah.
it would be the absolute dream job.
Yeah.
The pressure to deliver might be a
Yeah.
bit, but that's a dream job. I'd also quite like to write.
Yeah.
You know, a couple of ideas for books, non-fiction, but also write for film and TV would be.
Brilliant.
Screenplays and teleplays would be an absolute dream.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we're talking absolute dream, let go of it, do what you want. That and, you know, rock star,
Yeah.
obviously. What about yourself?
I'd say down a similar vein. I do really like trying to help people and supporting people. And I'd love for us to be able to do an aspect of this podcast where perhaps people write in and ask for advice or for help and see what we could do. But I love being creative. I love talking, obviously. I enjoy writing. I don't think I'm very good at it, but I enjoy it.
I disagree.
But yeah, I would, a bit like you, I'd love for this to become a more full-time thing.
For sure.
And maybe get it going on things like YouTube and things like that. And
branch it out, just extend it.
Yeah, and just see where it can go doing something like this. I think in general men more now than ever need somewhere where they can go and talk and hear things that they can relate to and understand and sometimes be light-hearted, but also go somewhere where they can listen to men talking about issues. And
yeah, I mean, in the coming weeks, you'll hear a podcast where we get very open and raw, and you're probably going to get to know us in ways that you don't and wouldn't have thought that you would. Yeah,
I mean, one of the subjects we're very keen to talk about is mental health, particularly in men. So that would be something we address.
We've been discussing our own issues, and particularly in the last couple of years, I think we've both had our own brushes with it, and it's something you're going to really get to know. So
and I think that will be probably our longest episode. We're going to aim for that one to hit the hour mark.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, obviously we don't want it to all be like that. But yeah, my ideal scenario is for us to be able to take this as far as possible.
Yeah, and equally, before we go on to the next question,
yeah,
if anyone who's listening has had any issues with their own mental health, or if they've had any experiences where they had an emotion of some kind and they didn't know where to turn, write to us, email us, tweet us, well maybe not tweet us, perhaps keep it a bit more discreet and private, but write to us, let us know, and we'll anonymously discuss it during that episode. It's good for people to hear and relate
email us
and know that they're not alone.
Email us at crossingswords19@gmail.com. We're always available to talk to.
No, absolutely. Right, next question.
Yes, you're back.
Right, yeah, God knows, who knows? I certainly don't know anything. If you could live in any fictional world, which would it be? Well, immediately that's conditional for me. If I were to join the MCU, would I have superpowers of any kind? Or would I just be me
you could
as is in any fictional world?
Potentially. I don't think you need to have it.
I think
that's specific.
I would join either the Marvel or the DC comic book world, because generally, if you die, you don't stay dead. You do get brought back in some capacity, and that appeals to me. And obviously, I'm a bit of a comic book nerd, so I'm always going to pick a comic book.
Oh, for me,
it's superhero.
It's either Pokemon.
Yeah, Pokemon would be quite cool, I must admit.
The Harry Potter world. I love magic.
See, but equally though, again, conditionally, are you magic?
I'm going to be.
No, hold on, you can't say that I don't know, and yet you're fucking sure you're a wizard.
I'm a pretty magical man, Jake.
Yeah, we've all heard the stories.
My wand capabilities
we've all seen videos.
Are at top level, I have no doubt in my mind that I would
Hey, no need to tell me.
possess magical abilities in that world as well.
Yeah, so you got a good cock, so you'll automatically be a fucking wizard.
Basically.
I have no idea whether I'm going to be a super... And also, I don't know whether I'll be a superhero, just whether I'm super powered.
Oh, well, so you're saying you could end up being a villain?
Yeah.
No.
Or I could just use it for really blasé shit, like cooking dinner or something.
I've got to admit, I would love to be telekinetic.
That would make life so much easier. I'd be so much fatter than I am now.
Well, no, but if you were telekinetic, technically, if you could control it enough, you could make it.
Them fat molecules break down in
Yeah.
your body. That's the kind of thinking I like. See, why hasn't a fat person ever written a comic book where they've addressed that issue?
Well, it was actually once, the reason I came up with that was I wrote a sort of short story that I would have loved to have turned into a proper book, where the guy was telekinetic and was fat, and to get fit, did exactly that.
I love that. Genuinely love it.
Alright, next question. Favourite movie of all time?
That is even tougher than the TV show. I'm a massive fan of The Godfather. I think it's crafted
really
everything
was
from the
Godfather.
lighting to the music to the acting to the pacing to the writing to what they left out to what they put in. Four Lions is a comedy film.
I've started watching that and I haven't finished it.
That is genuinely a fantastic film because it's a film about four would-be suicide bombers, and you think, what's a fucking shit idea for a film? It's just certainly a comedy. Actually,
And you've got that
really
crazy white guy that's pretending
Barry.
to...
Barry's one of the greatest characters of all time. Yeah. No, for sure. That's even Benedict Cumberbatch, isn't it?
I haven't got that far in.
No, but even he. But that's a great film. Avengers always gives me a real pleasure watching Avengers.
Yeah,
It's a pretty good film. It's not perfect. There's certainly holes in it, but
yeah.
for sheer enjoyment, it gives me such great pleasure.
Yeah, there's definitely a moment of joy when you see them assemble.
The music for Avengers gets me
Yeah.
every time.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So that would be up there. But yeah, I couldn't pick. Could you pick?
No, I can't pick particularly one. I've got a few. One in terms of like my childhood, because of the memories that come with it, is the film The Santa Claus with Tim Allen.
Yeah.
Best.
Best Christmas movie.
Yeah, absolutely love that film, and I remember sitting every Christmas Eve. I'd force my dad when he got in to sit down and watch it on
Me too.
VHS that I'd illegally recorded on my VHS
There's
recorder from
nothing
Disney
illegal about
Channel.
my household.
And then I would say more recently, quite an odd choice is Kingdom of Heaven.
Okay, yeah.
I've just something about the film really speaks to me and I love it. Another would be Gladiator.
Great film.
I just think everything about that film was done right.
I think as well, not so much a film, but as a franchise, Star Wars.
Yeah,
I'm a
I mean,
massive fan.
I've actually gone off of Star Wars in recent
Yeah,
years.
the new ones are shit. They've ruined the characters and they've really put.
But it sort of damaged the old films for me as well.
That's a shame.
Hopefully one day that changes. And then I would say the other one is Interstellar.
Yeah, great film. Great film.
I'm tending to find that a lot of films I fall for are ones that are scored by people like Hans Zimmer.
Yeah.
He just
He's
adds
fantastic.
a completely different dimension to whatever film he's a part of.
No, him and Sylvester and John Williams are
Yeah.
in like almost like a league of their own.
Yeah, they're
definitely.
gods of their craft.
They really are.
Yeah.
Right, last one.
Last
We're here.
question.
Last question. If you could be one famous person in history, a real person, who would it be? Do you have an answer? That's a tough one. That's a real thinker. I don't think I'd want to go too far back because I don't think I'd want to live with like cholera and
Do you know what?
I don't want chickenpox to be a thing. I mean, chickenpox is.
It's going to be one of two
smallpox.
people, both so far apart from each other.
Sure.
It's unreal, and they're the first two that have popped into my head. The first is going back a very long time, Alexander the Great.
Sure. Okay.
I mean, if you look at what he achieved before the age of 30, he conquered most of
You
the
sort of
known
had to
world.
achieve a lot before 30. There weren't a lot of.
No,
It was pretty much
but-
the time and age.
Compared to any other, I mean, insane. And the other would be Dave Grohl. To be a superstar lead the Foo Fighters and
They
sing
are
some of
quite
my
different.
favourite songs.
Yeah, I think
And to be a rock star would just be insane.
sporting wise.
Or, who's
The Beard.
oh
How am I meant to know who the Beard is?
Oh,
Steve Wozniak.
no! He was just in that singing film.
Hugh Jackman?
Well, I wouldn't mind being Hugh Jackman.
I wouldn't mind being Hugh Jackman.
No, he was in Limitless.
Bradley Cooper.
Bradley Cooper. I'd very happily be Bradley Cooper.
Yeah, I would. I sleep with him. I'd be Bradley Cooper's wife. No, I'd like to be Bobby Moore to lift the World Cup in an England shirt would be, I think, something we all kind of dream of as kids. But historically speaking, I'd love to have been there at the forefront of some of the great scientific discoveries.
Yeah.
Sort of either Watson or Crick or something discovering the base of DNA would have been like such a fucking web. Or even going further back, something like Galileo when he sort of...
Although I wouldn't have liked having my eyes gouged out.
No, and it wouldn't be a permanent thing. I wouldn't like to be...
Just there for the enjoyable part.
Ruthlessly hunted by the Catholic Church.
Yeah.
Yeah, just for the fun part. It would be great to be on the front line of those great scientific discoveries.
Yeah,
I know they seem really noble compared to Dave Grohl, but Dave Grohl wouldn't mind being Dave Grohl either, just for the record.
Dave Grohl rocks.
Yeah, I know you'd crawl over
I'm
broken glass.
to suck the cock of the last man you slept with.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gay for Grohl. Hashtag gay for Grohl.
I'd be gay for Grohl. I
I
think he'd treat me right.
think he would. He's a family man. He's wholesome.
Yeah, I think we could adopt some kids and be happy together. We'd adopt his kids.
Yeah.
Kill the wife off.
Yeah, agreed.
Seems a bit harsh. I don't really know her. It seems like a really cruel way to go, but...
If it's my happiness or hers.
Okay, we could have like a double date. You and Grohl, me and Coops.
Wait, who says you get Coops and I get Grohl?
Do you want to swap?
No, I'd
You don't want to swap, you
I'd
want
get to
Dave
go
Grohl.
to as many Foo Fighters concerts as I want.
Yeah.
Plus, I'd get to go to see stuff with Bradley Cooper. You're my bro. You take me.
Yeah, for sure. You get like a couple of premieres here and there. Not the good stuff, but some of the shit
What do
stuff.
you mean, not the good
I
stuff?
don't know how many tickets I can get for Guardians of the Galaxy 4.
I expect you to find me one. And Dave.
Will the kids want to come?
No, leave the kids at
The
home.
kids are staying at home.
I tell you
Stay
what,
right.
I will keep Dave Grohl's wife alive.
So
she
she
can look after the
keeps
kids.
the kids.
And also, we'll keep Ayana Shaikh or whatever her name is, because just
But what?
you can't rid the world of her.
But okay, if I'm getting you to these premieres, are you getting me into Foo Fighters concerts?
Absolutely.
Am I able to rock up at the studio one day when they're making them albums?
I'll have a word with Dave. I can't see it being a problem.
Fucking right. Okay then, we'll make it a date.
Yeah,
So there you know. Now you know who we're gay for.
yeah. And Hugh Jackman and David Beckham.
Yeah, I think what you're talking about isn't an orgy.
Hey, if that was an orgy I had to be a part of,
Do you know what?
there'd be
though?
worse ones.
I'd be genuinely honoured to my ugly little face and body, to be in with those beautiful masterpieces of humans. I'd be genuinely honoured to be considered in the same league,
Yeah,
even though I'd be the one that no one wants to touch.
yeah, but you're still there.
Wanking in the corner.
Yeah, you're still there.
What an orgy still counts.
Yeah. Alright guys, on that note, on gay orgies, well, I think we'll end it. I suppose it's better than saying African starving children deserve it.
Yeah, that was a couple. What was that? A couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh well. Think that would be good.
But anyway guys, thank you yet again for listening, and thank you for all of your feedback, positive and
You know
constructive.
exactly what we're going to say at this point. Keep listening, keep sharing it,
Yeah.
keep getting in contact with us.
Yeah.
Big, how do they get in contact? Andrew, how do they get in contact?
You can get in, I always get this wrong. You can get in contact with us at Swords Crossing on Twitter.
Yay!
And Crossing Swords on Facebook, and our email address is crossingswords19@gmail.com.
Talk to us. Like I said, mental health stuff is coming up in a
Yeah,
few weeks.
or any suggestions,
Talk
anything.
to us, guys. Let us know if you've had experiences, and we'll be completely anonymous about it.
Yeah.
Completely discreet. And we will not share your stories with anyone.
No.
We promise that. Other than everyone who's listening to the podcast, but they won't know it's you. We promise.
Yeah.
Keep sharing it, like it, dislike it, share it anyway, listen to it anyway,
Yeah.
play it.
See you next week.
See you then. Bye.